think fast. Seem like the common theme right now is going into the contradictions, like really putting the Bible and mythology and everything, like, up there to the forefront. Like right now, again, we're going through this Saturn retrograde, and it's Pluto energy. Well, Pluto is in Capricorn. We bringing up, yeah, if I ain't mistaken. In fact, scratch that. Yeah, it is in Capricorn. Long story short, this whole energy, like right now, about like really, putting these things to the forefront about like breaking down astro-theology and and seeing how like people start to add human moralistic situations and theology and change things due to their language or culture, and start twisting things around. And a lot of us being these great old ones, these sleeping giants who are now awakening, and somewhat being confused about these situations due to, like, oh, it's this God or it's that God. When all of these things, for one, are aspects of things inside of you, you know what I'm saying? First and foremost, is nothing to be worshiping externally. And again, just everything coming up to the forefront. Because I see myself, speaking on it, even down to reading the book Celestial Ship of the North. Celestial Ship of the North gets down to, getting to, it quotes a lot of Gerald Massey books. I want to say something dealing with Genesis, but it's two Gerald Massey books that's quoted heavily through that Celestial Ship of the North. But just going back to showing how all these things kind of just switched around through time, and how it was the divine primordial mother and it's switching to a father, through time. What you can see is the jealous aspect of, Soot or Set, because also beings, beings in essence reincarnate on all levels, as above, so below, as within, so without. Set or Soot, once serious, in some way, form, or fashion, incarnated into being Saturn or the father. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, and being the first son and also the father to others, one of the first fathers, And again, but not getting lost in that. But again, that reincarnation aspect on all levels, even down to I think about Panic, Brother Panic, bringing that up. Shout out to Brother Panic and all that sauce. The whole aspect of the Orishas, like switching up, and they don't really deal with the same things. Like, and I spoke on that like with words and stuff like that, even down to the video I just did about like the Matrix and the magic of dealing with that, that word and stuff like that. But if a lot of people dealing with a certain interfacing with a certain energy, and again, this is something internal. But if a lot of people take it and put it external, and matter of fact, that's why I kind of reference this in like dealing with sigils, like when you deal with a sigil, you don't let other people see it in that sense of it, Not to say that when we have a name for something that's, means something inside of us, that we shouldn't share it. It's just more so that, as things, as we fell asleep and things drifted to a place where people were externalizing these things and using this energy for all kind of things, so it kind of threw off the line in essence, But again, you just right now you're seeing, and you probably yourself, like getting more into the research of the situation. Right now, you could say just feeling like the inner ancestors, the energy is raising right now, and a lot of, I feel like this one of those vibes right now to really, kind of be in that question mode, like it really be asking questions and tapping into your inner universe inside of you, because you're talking to yourself. You are higher self. You're not talking like you talking to yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is a little bodysuit. You are a higher self within a bodysuit. Just like somebody hops in an astronaut suit, but if they are not the astronaut suit, same thing. You know, you are a soul in a little meat suit. I am not universal. I am not Kari. And as I say that, that's why, sometimes to each his own, knowing your own inner magic subconsciously. But, the subconscious don't really pay attention to, negatives in essence. Like it just hears, like, so when I say I am not this or I am not that, all they hear is I am this or I am that, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily paying attention to the not aspect of it. So, you want to be aware of that. But just for the, the sake of conversation and what I'm saying right now, and I say conversation, but it's like, again, we get into this place of, really breaking down what's real, and that's why I was talking about it again earlier about the Saturn aspect, bringing things up, the karmic energy, coming up to the light, so all those lies, the karma for those people having to, deal with the lies. Also, shout out to Seven Bomar bringing up that aspect about the farmers, dealing with the crops, kind of being faulty and stuff like that, because again, they inherited these things from their grandparents and people who were slave owners, and that was something the ancestors spoke on. It's another thing I caught in another, vibe, like again, like the quote unquote forefathers, of what, some people in this realm in Western civilization call their forefathers, was told like, hey, if we don't get you, your grandchildren, gonna have to deal with this situation. And that's what's really going on, it's like energy's trying to get us to be docile and calm and, be fearful or just anything to throw off our energy and not be in a space to, tap into our higher energies and realize who we are, you know what I'm saying? And think about it, like if you're dealing with, if you studied, like stole all the artifacts and studied about this certain being who basically you walking right on side of, shoulder to shoulder every day, that like, damn, this motherfucker gonna wake up, or this motherfucker children gonna wake up soon. We gotta create a situation, you know what I'm saying, to keep, this being sleep, you know what I'm saying? Point blank period is simple psychology, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you hiding Santa Claus, if you hiding Santa Claus from your children, you're not gonna leave out a book that talk about how Santa Claus is fake. You're not gonna, create that story to make sure you create this lie for your child and then leave out a book though that proves the lie wrong. It's like that defeats the purpose, and that's why they also are, I would say they, but in the essence of it, sneaky about the way they do share the information. It's in the movies, in a lot of things, but it's twisted, and have like a little backdoor subconscious programming that could be harmful towards your growth if you're not aware, of what's going on. But we have to hold ourselves accountable for everything because it's our, But yeah, I see that vibe of, again, multiple different platforms, also the Area 51 thing coming back up, and I done did a video on the Stanley Kubrick moon landing situation where, YouTube showing they little teeth a little bit, trying to put under my video as if I'm lying or something, like, oh no, the moon landing happened and such and this and that, and that's obvious. North Korean type of behavior from, from YouTube and the government and all that, have the, just, yeah. But, that's basically it, y'all, just was sharing, seeing that vibe of like how everything is being broken down. I'm gonna have more videos, again, like right now, I don't know, it must have some type of, it's some type of energy. I think, you know what, and I say I think, I said it already, it's just that aspect of, the Saturn, the Pluto detransformation, and, bringing things to the light, you know what I'm saying? Again, that's what I was talking about in the crops going bad, yeah, and that's where I was too, with the whole aspect of the crops going bad due to that karmic energy coming back around. So all these lies, that's why, again, it ain't bashing nobody's belief system as much as it's telling the truth. Like, the letter J didn't exist for Jesus to exist. It's a fact that the Constantine had 2 Nicaea councils and took out the book of Enoch and the Apocrypha because he didn't want, everything to tie into astrology to be seen obviously, which you could see obviously in the book of Enoch. Like, even if you try your best not to tie it together, with the numbers that correlate, like the 7 storms or the 7, and then you put Revelation together with it, which Revelation is an aspect of the Persian. It comes from the Persian story with Zoroaster. That's all connected, as well. So, and matter of fact, shout out to the book Celestial Ship of the North again, because that helped. It brings out, and this book got banned in 1993. And again, back to the Santa Claus. If you're trying to hide Santa Claus from somebody, then you're going to hide the book from somebody, aka like hiding Celestial Ship of the North. And I think they just stopped publishing or, stopped it from being on shelves or whatever the case may be. But Celestial Ship of the North, and I do have it on PDF. I'm not one. It's almost like dealing with music or dealing with, electronics for something of a higher vibration, because it's food for the soul, I'm able to tolerate, looking at my tablet to read in essence. But for those who do, read off of like tablets or laptops, whatever, I do have it on PDF. But yeah, it's time to start. Now is the vibrate. Always, right now, not tomorrow, not in the next 5 minutes. If you're on the fence about it, right now, like, all right, fuck this. I gotta question this religion shit. Because the Bible only 2,000 years old. The fucking Quran only 6,000 years old. And the Sphinx got water erosion on it from about 13,000 years ago. It's like, all right, something up. It's like, cause that obviously that civilization is way older than somebody said, and even to the point where it had water around there. 16 crucified saviors by cursed graves. Which breaks down how the story of the Christ energy is a story. It's a story of an energy. It's not a story of a person actually named, Jesus or Mithra or Quetzalcoatl or Krishna. That's all placed on, what I'm saying? And again, we're going through this Leo energy. We're going to have a lot of connection. Matter of fact, they're coming out with the movie Lion King because they, magic again. It's theater, it's doing rituals, If I know people, connected to these astrological effects, I'm going to put out certain rituals in order to, to program their subconscious into creating a certain reality that benefits me. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure in Lion King they probably got some type of programming about giving up your crown or something. They probably, I don't know, they probably switch it up a little bit. No telling. On Disney, but anyway, uh, because which is all a game. Be lighthearted about it anyway, but just the awareness of, again, it's all ritual, and again, we're going into August. August connected with the dog days of summer, or when Sirius is at its hottest, and Sirius is like that fiery serpent, or soot. Soot Typhon, Sirius, Saltus, and Sirius also connected, or Typhon connected to the Kundalini, what I'm saying? Of course, connected with raising up to, the celestial ship of the North, or the North Pole, Mount Meru, or the, primordial mother, area, the Ursa Major, or the Draco constellation, the other serpent, hence why on the tarot cards, the card for the world got like that little reef / like serpent skin little circle around the lady in the middle with the 4 fixed signs, or the 4 cardinal points, which are also the 4 gospel writers, as far as Matthew, Luke, John, and whoever else, what I'm saying? It's all astrology, what I'm saying? Again, Revelations was about, astrology. Book of Enoch, astrology. I mean, all of it is, but those books really have it to, again, where like, and that's the thing too, where it starts to feel like, all right, I'm gonna just start hanging with people who's on the same path of really digging deep, like I'm really digging deep. Because if you claim to be so smart, and you go to school to learn how to dig deeper and peep the context clues, if you come across the book of Enoch and Revelations and all this as a quote-unquote Christian, and you still want, and that's the key word, you will want to have to be blind, but if you still not seeing it, then, something's up. But I wouldn't, again, I would teach his own on their growth. And in the sense of, we gotta grow at the pace we're on, and we can't try, like that's why, like once I realized what it was, I didn't try to stay and try to pull nobody, Of course, I probably tried in the essence, because that's what my mind or subconscious program, like, all right, I gotta try to preach to people. Now that I think I know something, what I'm saying? Shit, but you realize you don't even know half a piece of the story in essence, but in the sense of it, of course, all the information is all in you, and your Akashic records tapped into your DNA, your soul energy, what I'm saying? But again, I'm gonna have to tighten up on these little shades. Keep falling. But anyway, that's basically it. Uncovering these truths. Lionsgate energy. Again, not to be worshiping Selassie. This is all allegorical energy. And like I talked about the movie aspect, as above, so below, as within, so without. A lot of these, a lot of us on this human experience in these little bodysuits represent higher energies, and higher energies that, come down at certain times. I think about Haile Selassie birthday being on the same day that the Leo constellation starts on, July 22nd or 23rd, I think, for Selassie. But that whole aspect, no coincidence, Negus, Negus Nagas, one of the names, and Negus means to reign, and connected with the Naga, or the serpent, again, back to that soot correlation, and reincarnation, working out karma. Some of us also realizing we might have been a part of certain unhealthy aspects in the past, of like allowing certain things to happen, or preaching or caring, again, like, because I think about, I keep getting this vibe of like, because when you look at it, I think, the Ethiopian Empire, in essence, was probably the first empire to start being more dogmatic religious, on a religious vibe, and that's why, eventually things had to happen to Ethiopia the way it happened to it, because of, giving into changing the doctrine, in essence. But it's all in the play out of the story, no good, bad, right, or wrong in that sense of it, about, some of us, awaken, realize that we've been here a bunch of times and now it's time for a different experience. We want to incarnate into a new world, like a tourist field, world, a tornado world, pool world, or like a world, instead of reincarnating into this world, or like shock or a spinning wheel. Yeah, it's time to, being lighthearted, lighter than a feather, you know what I'm saying? Don't let these things weigh you down. Be in the moment, get out of them thoughts. It's a constant work. It ain't hard though. We ain't gonna make it sound hard, it's just gotta stay persistent, habitual healthy habits, Triple H. Habitual being. Basically, now it's to vibrate. Now or never, things are starting to shift, things changing. We're gonna start supporting each other as entrepreneurs more. A lot of these companies about to, belly flop. Things about to be shifting, and that's why a lot of us been preparing to, be more detached and things of this nature, because we've been, being ready so we don't have to get ready at the last minute. Because some of us, just like in the war, frontline soldiers, and a lot of us, and even I done always had that aspect of like, oh man, I ain't gonna keep talking about the war aspect, which I don't constantly focus on it. I do a good job at not focusing on it like that, but I do realize, like, this is a spiritual, warfare that's being played out, and again, is about maintaining your inner universe while certain external parasites are trying to eat away, but which again, the external parasites, for the most part, though, in essence, are here on the external level because some type of parasites exist inside of us, aka through the foods we grew up off of, or the certain just energies in our thoughts, and just all that residue, you know what I'm saying? And as we clean up ourselves and get more in line with our soul and out of our egoic mind, out of that parasitic mind, we align with that divine energy, and therefore, but again, and our job in essence is not to, save our inner world, and let the rest fall in place, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily trying to go out and save the world in that sense, because if you ever realize nobody ever changed you, you had to change yourself, People used to come up to me preaching when I was drinking 40s, popping Xanax, but they couldn't change me. It wasn't their job to change me. It was my job, you know what I'm saying? It's a free will universe, You choose your growth or your damnation. It's your choice. Damnation, being damned up, stopping your flow, you know what I'm saying? Stopping your current, you know what I'm saying? Stopping your current on the side of the banks where you want your current flow. But yeah, shifting, baby, we're shifting. And I always do my videos, which I don't know if ever, it's not for me to even tell it. Like, hey, it's almost like telling a joke and like, and not allowing for the person to catch it and be like, hey, do you get it? This and that. But I do say things in layers, for everybody, again, everybody different on their growth. Different beings dealing with different situations. A parasite is a parasite. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past.